You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
No Theo Dorsey today. Colin Russo filling in. It's Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot to talk about on a Wednesday here, January the 7th, 2026. Streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X, ESPN South Florida on YouTube, and ESPN West Palm on Twitter and Facebook. We got Christian Katt, as always, behind the glass. We got you for the next 2 hours today, and then a little Russo and Rizzo after that, so stay tuned for that. A lot to talk about. Big news came out yesterday around 5 o'clock. Was the Ravens moved on from their head coach, John Harbaugh. It seemed to be a mutual parting of ways. Sounds like the Ravens grew frustrated with Harbaugh's lack of playoff success. Maybe some part about some of his assistant coaches and the relationship with Lamar Jackson has been called into question. Ravens, they rolled their dice, they showed their cards, and they took Team Lamar Jackson. I'm going to split it up into two. I'm going to split this up into a take one side or take to the other side, take a little Civil War aspect to it. But I do think that there is an issue internally with the players and Harbaugh, and it just seemed like there was a disconnect. Remember, it started earlier in the year when the Ravens were miscalculating Lamar Jackson's injury timeline, and people thought they would get, they would get punishment for that, get put into trouble. And then there were other situations in which Lamar Jackson was asked post-game after the Steeler game in which they lost, which cost them a spot to the playoffs where they lost 26-24, missed a field goal as time expired. And they said, hey, do you want Harbaugh back? And he goes, basically word salads his way around it. So it's been a strange situation, I would say, for a couple of years. It just doesn't seem like those two were in lockstep. It doesn't seem like him and the players were in complete lockstep. And after 18 seasons, a Super Bowl championship, and 10-plus wins for 6 of the last 8 years, that's what you got. So Christian Katt is our Raven fan of the bunch, and my condolences or congratulations?
I still have no idea how to feel about this. It's different than college football where there are prized pigs out there. In the NFL, it feels like there are less hot commodities coming into this offseason. While I appreciate what John Harbaugh did for the Baltimore Ravens, I also grew frustrated with the results of the last 5 to 10 seasons when the ceiling of the Ravens was very, very high and it never quite was reached. I also look at the playoff record that John Harbaugh had before he got Lamar Jackson, which was 8-4. And then I look at the playoff record that John Harbaugh had with Lamar Jackson, and that is 3-6. Again, you go from double the amount of wins to losses to double the amount of losses to wins after Lamar Jackson. And, of course, quarterback is just one position, but quarterback is the most important position, and the surrounding cast that John Harbaugh had with Joe Flacco probably was a lot better than who surrounded Lamar Jackson for half of his tenure with the Baltimore Ravens for Lamar Jackson. It is weird. I did not expect it. I never even considered it. We talked about this on Monday after the Ravens suffered yet another crucial, defeating, heartbreaking loss in a playoff situation, and you're in the playoffs against the Pittsburgh Steelers, bitter rival. You know the whole song and dance. I did not think that they would fire John Harbaugh, and then they did. And it took one full day after the postseason exit, and it's conversations within the organization where that relationship apparently was untenable between quarterback and head coach.
Yeah, it sounds like there was just a disconnect is the right way to put it, and it seems like it was just there was a little flame there, and instead of just letting it grow into a house fire, they wanted to just get rid of the one room and just see if they could adjust on the fly. Now, so based on what I'm hearing, since you don't really know how to feel about it, this is all dependent on who they get to replace him.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you feel good about it, then this is a good firing. Or a split, I should say. And if it's a bad hire in your eyes, this is as big of a disaster as you could find.
Then also, I find it very difficult to judge hires until I see what happens. It's one thing in college football, you see the recruiting class that does come with that coach, or do you lose with that coach, or you can start judging it before the ball's kicked off in the following fall. In the NFL, I have no idea until we see how the Baltimore Ravens perform with Lamar, without John Harbaugh, and with the new head coach for that team. So I'm not ready to even grade the hire the Ravens get until we see how that team does.
It's not fair. You're right. You could go down the list of just some people you think, oh, this is a great, great hire. Pete Carroll, in my opinion, was a great hire when he was brought into the Raiders. And how does that look now? Liam Cohen was sort of a no-name, somebody who didn't even get interviews from other franchises.
And it was a little slimy the way he got there. It was a
slimy way the way he got there because he wanted the general manager gone. Then he went and took a contract offer to sort of call the bluff of Jacksonville. Then all of a sudden Jacksonville fires their general manager, and he comes crawling back. So this is not foreign to kind of jump to conclusions when you just see who the hire is, but now you got a year buffer. This next year is going to be as important of a season for the Ravens as you could remember because it's not a rebuilding year. This is a capitalization year. Derrick Henry's not going to do this forever. Lamar Jackson should be healthy in the prime of his career, and number 3 should be motivated. They have talent all over the place. Defensively, they weren't healthy the whole year. I think this is going to be as important of a season for the Ravens as it's been in a long, long time because the Chiefs are now reeling. Chiefs are not as healthy. Who knows what the Bills are going to do? Cincinnati's a nightmare in terms of themselves. The AFC is takeable, and they missed out on it this year. And you got a first-ballot Hall of Famer, if he retired today, quarterback, and a pretty good roster of a number of Hall of Famers all over the place. This is going to be, not only do you need somebody that's a good coach long-term, you need somebody who's going to be a good coach short-term. So all eyes are on the Ravens there. And on the other side of things, John Harbaugh enters himself into the equation. A couple interesting tidbits came out from that. They announced it around 5 p.m. There were 6 head coaching jobs before the Baltimore Ravens announced this split with John Harbaugh. 6 being the Falcons, the Browns, the Giants, the Tennessee Titans, the Cardinals, the Raiders. Those are the teams. Ravens get entered into that fold. That makes it 7 open jobs. According to Adam Schefter, who spoke with John Harbaugh's agent, when it was announced that he was moving on from the Baltimore Ravens, he got reached out to by 7 teams. You might think that makes sense because there's 7 openings. Well, one of whom is going to be the Ravens. The Ravens are not reaching out to John Harbaugh. So I would make the interpretation that all six open jobs reached out to John Harbaugh. The Browns, Titans, Giants, Falcons, they all did. And then there's another secret team that maybe we don't know about that currently has a head coach under contract that would be interested in John Harbaugh's services if he were to become available to them specifically. And I'd make the argument that there is not just only 7 teams that would say yes to John Harbaugh if he were to make himself available and commit himself to coaching that specific franchise. I'd make the argument the number is a whole lot bigger than 7. I would say that over a third of the league would say yes tomorrow. There's 32 teams. I would say over a third, 10.5 teams would be my number, would say yes to John Harbaugh tomorrow if he called franchise A and said, if you get rid of your head coach, I will start on Monday.
Is that how you think this is going to work? Do you think that we look back at the NFL in, maybe a month from now, and a team that is in the playoffs or someone that does not have their head coach fired hires John Harbaugh? If you were to guess between the two.
That's slimy to you? It is a little slimy from Harbaugh's perspective. You think that's the way he wants to do this? But how many times do you get an opportunity to change coaching jobs when you're that good of a coach?
Right.
He's been with one spot for 18 years. Chances are he's looking for a spot to kind of close out his career. I have a hard time seeing him go to spot number 3, unless this is complete disaster or whatever next place he goes to. So I assume he's looking for somewhere to finish out his career. And if that's the case, if you in a lot of ways have your pick of the litter, why would you settle on a franchise or a place or a team you don't want to coach?
Because what's the better job what is the best job at the vacant head coaching position right now that's not the Baltimore Ravens? What is the best of those?
I think Harbaugh's definition of the best job is a lot different than what a aspiring coordinator's definition of a great job is. Ben Johnson's view of a great job was the Chicago Bears.
With a quarterback, right?
The Chicago Bears had a number 1 overall pick with 4 years left on a rookie contract. They clearly had talent all over the field. They had good draft selections, and they had a number of good things to feel good about with the team. So that's why that was the best job, and it's a bad organization, but the team was good. That's how Ben Johnson would view it. I think John Harbaugh can view how he approaches his head coaching free agency cycle as, do I want to coach and coach a great team or coach a great franchise? Do I want to jump in to a premier and NFL jobs, I know it's just, one of the 32. It matters if you just get any of them. There's tiers to it when you get to a certain level of being a coach. Coaching for the Cowboys means more. Coaching for the Niners means more. Coaching for the Packers means more. Coaching for the Patriots is a massive, massive job. So I think along the lines of hypothesizing how John Harbaugh would think about it, I think he's viewing it as, I want to coach not only a good team, but I'm not going to have pressure to succeed in a year and a half. They're going to give me my time to build this from the scratch. So he could go to a bad team that needs him, or he could go to a good team and try to capitalize on a great franchise. You
need a functioning chain of command and just trust in the front office and stability within the organization.
Right.
So, I don't think the Dallas Cowboys, even if they didn't just have 1 year of their recently hired Schottenheimer, I don't think if the Cowboys job was open, I don't think John Harbaugh would want that job.
Correct. It's a huge job in hindsight because it's probably the biggest franchise in sports, but it's a tough job to take because the chain of command isn't good. I think the Packer job is the best job in the NFL. I know you have to live in Green Bay, Wisconsin, but in terms of football legacy, that is the most important job you could possibly take outside of maybe San Francisco. So outside of those two, maybe the Patriots, something like that. Those are probably the top jobs in the entire league. So it's just not every day that those jobs open and it become available.
Right. Honestly, what I was trying to think of a best parallel, a best comparison to the firing of John Harbaugh that I could find in recent memory in the NFL in terms of firing a head coach because you do not want to waste the years of your prime top 5 quarterback. I thought of the firing of Mike McCarthy in Green Bay. That's immediately who I thought of. And the hiring of Matt LaFleur in that moment. And then LaFleur won 13 games 2 years in a row immediately after taking over the Packers.
And Rodgers had a resurgence, too, because Rodgers did not have the best seasons of his career in the latter parts of McCarthy. It wasn't until LaFleur got there that he became MVP level again. They didn't have a lot of playoff success. They had a lot of terrible losses, too, to San Francisco, to be specific. But that pops into mind. But that's a good example because it's about the quarterback situation. I think that the ownership, if they just had a middling quarterback, top 15, they would keep Harbaugh around.
Stick around until we get another chance with that prospect.
It's the idea. That's why Tomlin is in a peculiar position. You could almost vindicate him because, we have Rodgers as a 40-year-old, and they made the playoffs. What can you expect? This is Lamar Jackson, who, if he retired today, would probably be a first-ballot Hall of Famer with the amount of hardware individually that he has to his name in his career to this point. So I think it's important to them to capitalize on that. I agree with you.
And now, so we're trying to find a spot for Harbaugh, what the best job is of the vacant jobs, even though you alluded to it, and I agree with you that John Harbaugh very well could be hired by a team that does not have a vacant head coaching job right now. You were hot on it yesterday.
Let's do this exercise really quick. So what you're saying is outside of the 6 head coach openings outside of Baltimore, there's 7. So let's eliminate Baltimore. There's 6 head coach openings. Obviously, all 6 are wildly interested in John Harbaugh's services. I don't think we need to, speak that into existence. Every single team would take John Harbaugh tomorrow if he were to give interest.
Yeah, they said the 6-team number in the first 45 minutes of the news breaking last night.
They all want Harbaugh. So there's no doubt there, especially in a light head coaching cycle. I'd make the argument that there are a number of more teams that not only would say yes, if they got an inkling that he was interested, if he wanted to coach in this specific location, this specific franchise, for this ownership or for those players, I think there are at least, outside of the 6 available, I think there's at least 4 more that I would even go higher. 4 or 5 more that would not only if he's called them, and he can, and his agent can call the ownership and said, hey, John's interested. See what happens on Monday. Or if you're a playoff team, see what happens on Monday. Or if you're a non-playoff team, they would probably fire him tomorrow. Outside of the teams, let's go through the exercise. And I'm going to throw a couple teams at you, and I want you to give me a yes or no on if this team would fire their head coach if John Harbaugh made himself available to that franchise. All right?
All right.
So we have the 6 available.
So this is a fantasy scenario where it's I'm going to keep you on the phone right now. Give me a yes or no. Fire your guy.
And you're not firing the guy unless you know he's coming, right?
Right.
And I think John Harbaugh knows that too. And I'm not sure if he'll do it this way, but he could have his pick of the litter. All right, outside of the 6 that are available right now, let's start locally. Do the Miami Dolphins fire their head coach, Mike McDaniel, if he calls Stephen Ross and says, I will coach for the Dolphins, I'll be there on Monday?
Yes, because their general manager has not been hired yet, so you don't have the baggage and the problem that we've had in Miami as of late with just a bad roster construction in South Florida. Yes, Stephen Ross would hire John Harbaugh and fire Mike McDaniel.
That is 7 teams. All right. Let's stay in the division. Cincinnati Bengals. If John Harbaugh calls the ownership of the Bengals and says, get rid of Zach Taylor, I want to coach Joe Burrow, and I want to stay in the division. I just want to go, a couple hours away. What do the Cincinnati Bengals think?
The Bengals, it's difficult because they always have that trump card, or at least that cop-out answer of Joe Burrow's been hurt, and we haven't made the playoffs in 2 of those 4 seasons because of Joe Burrow's injury. I think that the Bengals don't fire Zach Taylor for John Harbaugh.
You don't think so?
No.
I'm on the other side here. I think they would fire Zach Taylor. I would have been fine with firing Zach Taylor this year. I'm out on him. He's not a big-time coach in my eyes. And that's another one where Joe Burrow plays ball. It seems he likes Taylor a little bit more, but it seems like not every player loves that playing for him. So that's just, there's always something going on with Cincinnati. It's not run like a perfectly functioning machine.
Right, but they've had issues pre-Zach Taylor, and they're going to have issues post-Zach Taylor because of how things are run up top.
That's true. It stems from the ownership. It's a tough team to coach, which is why I think more likely than not that I know John Harbaugh is sort of an operator. He builds the campus and then sleeps in it. That's why I think it would work there. So, all right, we disagree there. So let's stay at 7 that we agree on, but I think it's 8 at this point. Miami and Cincinnati. Cincinnati Christian says no. I'm on the other side. I say yes. If he calls them and says, I will coach your team tomorrow, do you say yes? If John Harbaugh calls the Washington Commanders and says, if you get rid of Dan Quinn, I want to coach Jaden Daniels, do they say yes or no?
No. They're too
They
close.
just got rid of both coordinators. Keep that in mind.
Right. I think the Washington Commanders are too close to their NFC Championship game berth. And we saw that team firing on all cylinders 2 years ago. Yep. I think it's too soon to cut ties with Quinn.
I agree with that. I don't think they get rid of Dan Quinn there. The New York Jets. If he calls the New York Jets and says, first-year head coach Aaron Glenn, I know you guys got 3 draft picks in this year's draft. It's a terrible franchise. I get it. Nobody really wants to touch it, but I think I could turn this around. They fired Aaron Glenn.
The Jets would think it's a prank call.
Yeah.
They would say, did you mean like the other New York team? Are you actually calling us right now?
Right.
Yes, the Jets would.
Giant fans would never get over that, by the way, because they want Harbaugh more than anything.
If Harbaugh chose the Jets over the Giants, you're exactly right. It would be demoralizing, absolutely 100% in this fantasy land scenario. Yes, the Jets would take John Harbaugh.
That's 8 teams. If he calls Tampa Bay and says, if you fire Todd Bowles, I will coach Baker Mayfield in that illustrious Tampa Bay offense tomorrow on Monday, I'll be there. What do they say?
Yeah, these last 3 months have been putrid.
I agree. I think they absolutely get rid of him.
Inexcusable.
And they sort of are dealing with a little bit of a Harbaugh syndrome because they have let multiple great coordinators go and have success elsewhere. Tampa Bay's not in the postseason. Dave Canales, former Tampa Bay. Liam Cohen, former Tampa Bay, both in the playoffs. So I think they would say yes immediately if Todd Bowles were to walk away.
Yeah, you have a large contingency in that Tampa Bay fan base that wants Bowles out before they knew that John Harbaugh was on the coaching market.
I agree. Now, let's get into the postseason mix. If they call the Buffalo Bills and say, John Harbaugh is interested, see what happens on Sunday, but keep me in mind whatever happens on Monday.
I would say yes with the contingency that the Bills would have to lose to the Jaguars.
Right. Obviously, if they win and beat the Jaguars, I don't think this is going to be
Or now let's go a step further. The Bills beat the Jaguars, then lose in the divisional round.
So they lose to New England at New England second and 3 times.
If you ask that question on August 1st, if the Bills don't win the AFC with no Mahomes, no Burrow, no Lamar in that AFC playoff bracket, it kind of feels like, yeah, the Bills have to come out of that conference. I know you see 18 data points of a season showing the Patriots are a much bigger threat than anticipated. The Jaguars are a much bigger threat than anticipated, as are the Broncos. But the boogeymen are out of here. And maybe there's only one boogeyman in Patrick Mahomes, with the Chiefs taking a big step down. But the Bills need to capitalize on it this year. And there's a great chance, there's probably if you do the Vegas odds probability math, the Bills probably have a 10 to 15% chance to win the AFC. Not very high.
I'll go a little higher than that, but I understand.
They got a 50-50 chance to win on Sunday.
And I think that has a big – I think that's a very dangerous game for whoever's going to win the AFC.
Definitely. I think the Bills would take John Harbaugh over Sean McDermott, especially if they lose on Sunday.
Sunday, I could listen to that. I don't know if I agree with it past that fact. I know a lot of people are under that impression, but a lot of it is who are you going to get? If they're going to get rid of McDermott a week and a half after the coaching cycle starts, I think they're going to promote internally. They're not going to look elsewhere, but
you know what? That's a Buffalo Bills organization.
I know.
In the past 20 years, who has been out-coached. A lot of it, not their fault. Oh, you don't have the greatest and most historied head coach in the history of professional football in Bill Belichick? You're going to get out-coached every single year, with Bill Belichick being the Patriots head coach. Now they're seeing Mike Vrabel go to New England, and they're thinking, we can't let this happen again. We cannot have a decided head coach disadvantage.
It's one thing to get out coached by Reed and Belichick, who are two of the top 6 coaches of all time. It's a little different when it's Mike Vrabel and or Liam Cohen. I understand. So,
and then specifically in that division, Mike Vrabel's the best head coach in the division right now. Better than McDaniel, better than Sean McDermott, and Mike Vrabel's better than Aaron Glenn or whoever they fire and hire for.
Yeah, right. All right. So maybe I can listen to that. I don't know if is Buffalo going to want to do the same thing that Baltimore's doing right now. That they're entering themselves into the same pool. Unless they know that they want to keep Joe Brady and just promote him internally. Maybe they want to do that. And maybe they just make it easy. Where Sean McDermott's moving on, and then all of a sudden Joe Brady steps in, and nobody's the wiser. I could see that more likely than I could see Buffalo getting rid of McDermott and sort of washing that whole staff. Because that's my interpretation of how this is going to go down in Baltimore.
But I feel like a lot of the reason, and we've come to realize, and it's been reported, a lot of the reason that John Harbaugh was fired was his relationship with quarterback Lamar Jackson. It seems like Josh Allen might be really easy to get along with. He seems to be beloved in every room he walks into, and I doubt that will be a problem. And if that was a problem in Baltimore, big reason he was fired, I don't think it would be the situation that Baltimore found themselves in.
Interesting. I do think Allen has to clear anything. They're not going anywhere without Allen. So if he wants him out, then he gets out. But if Allen's under the impression, hey, coach is getting us here, we just got to make plays, I don't know if the Bills are going to go behind his back and do that. But tricky spot. It's a little bit more colored in terms of the relationships involved because it seems like they all like each other in Buffalo. Nonetheless, Christian Catt, Colin Russo. I got one more question and one more team I want to throw out there. I'll do it going into break because I want to get his thoughts on it on the other side of it. Evan Cohen will join us next up in Sportsmanlike. You can hear him 6 to 10 weekdays on ESPN Radio nationally. I'm curious about the Packers. They calls the Packers. Packers lose 21-17 to the Bears on Saturday. Say, hey, this is the biggest franchise, biggest probably coaching job out there. I'll take this job. Would they get rid of LaFleur in order to do so? We'll talk to Evan Cohen about that on the other side of things. Some pirates spend their miserable lives searching for gold and silver. Strike the sails and cast the anchor, mates. I see a floating chest. Tickets to the South Florida Fair are available. They got rides, games, grubs, just something for every mate in your crew. Forget a soul on your list, a great last-minute gift. Give them an experience they'll never forget. That's tickets to the South Florida Fair. You could go get them at Publix or at thesouthfloridafair.com. Party with the Pirates. It opens January 16th, just about 9 days away, right here in West Palm Beach at the fairgrounds. Christian Catt, Colin Russo. We got Evan Cohen. We'll loop him in on the other side of things. It's Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hey, Culligan man!
Good people. It's Theo Dorsey. Let's kick off the new year with a home upgrade that's a win for you and the environment. A Culligan high-efficiency water softener helps you use less soap, less detergent, and fewer chemicals. Talk about a game-winning play. Try Culligan today for 12 months interest-free. Visit Culligan.com for more information and to schedule your free water test. Or just say,
Hey, Culligan man!
The 2 p.m. hour is presented by the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. Teeing off February 25th at PGA National. Get your tickets today at thecognizantclassic.com.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful Defender 110 P300S for just $849 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast, professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Not all moves reflect your lifestyle. At Safebound Luxury, we provide white glove services tailored for high-end homes, fine art, and designer furnishings. Our expert team ensures every piece is packed, transported, and placed with precision and care. If you're relocating a residence that deserves more than a basic move, schedule your private consultation today at safeboundluxury.com to experience the difference. This isn't just a move. This is the art of moving.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Yair Holtzman, partner and leader of Anshin's Research and Development Tax Credits Group.
The One Big Beautiful Bill Act restored full expensing of domestic research and development expenditures, allowing businesses to deduct qualifying costs immediately or choose among different tax treatments. Beginning with tax years after December 31st, 2024, special elections for small businesses can be applied retroactively. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we help businesses develop a proactive tax plan, identify qualified activities and expenses, and optimize cash flow and tax benefits. If your business is investing in U.S.-based R&D and looking to maximize incentives while remaining compliant with tax law, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that wants to learn more about careers with Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
As teams battle for a chance at the title, make sure your home is ready for every unforgettable moment. EDS Air Conditioning keeps your comfort championship caliber. Right now, qualified customers can score 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC unit. The heat belongs on the field, not inside your home. With more than 800 Google reviews and a 4.8-star rating, EDS has been delivering national championship service since 2006. Visit EDSIsyes.com today and enjoy the run to a national title.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
No Theo Dorsey today. Colin Russo filling in on Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3, live from the City Place Studios on a beautiful South Florida day, the 7th of January, 2026. We got Christian, as always, behind the glass. And if you're an early bird, if you're an early riser and you want to drive to work and turn on the radio, you probably hear him on ESPN Radio. He's on Unsportsmanlike alongside Michelle Smallman and Chris Canty, 6 to 10 weekdays. He's a former host of ESPN West Palm for 20 years. The studio somehow is named after him. Let's get to it. Let's get to Evan Cohen.
Because 4 hours a day just isn't enough. The Don of ESPN West Palm checks in from the mothership to spread the Patriot way, make fun of C-Katt, and reestablish the quarterback rules. From the Evan Cohen Memorial Studios, it's more Evan Cohen on ESPN 106.3.
From the Evan Cohen Memorial Studios, indeed, we'd like to welcome in Mr. Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike, joining us now on Theoretically Speaking. Evan, welcome in. How are you?
Yes, sir, Colin. How are we doing today?
Yes, Evan. Welcome back. I know you and I have jumped on quite a bit here last couple of weeks.
Very tricky for you. You don't like it. You only have me when you're forced to, when the powers that be tell you to. And if it were up to you, I'd be disconnected right now.
Apparently this is locked in, this spot. I didn't know. Welcome in, Evan. Nonetheless, a lot of things to talk about. We got a good weekend of playoff football. Both your team, the New England Patriots, got a big game, and my team, Jacksonville Jaguars, got a game. And then Christian's team, the Baltimore Ravens, are in search of a new head coach. Surprisingly, John Harbaugh let go, marriage, divorce, whatever you want to call it, yesterday around 5 o'clock. And the first thing Schefter says is, outside of the 6 currently open jobs outside of Baltimore, he says they got 7 calls about if John Harbaugh would be interested, available to coach their said teams, alluding to the fact that there are teams currently with head coaches that would be interested in Harbaugh taking over, meaning firing their coaches, whether it be a playoff team or a current team with a head coach. So I wanted to do, Christian and I just did this exercise, Evan. I wanted to loop you in.
Okay.
We went through, I think we're on the same page that all 6 available teams, as in the Falcons, the Browns, the Giants, the Raiders, the Cardinals, all these teams would be wildly interested in Harbaugh's services. I don't think anybody's denying that. Would you agree?
Agreed. Absolutely right.
On top of that, I think the real exercise is what teams currently with head coaches, if John Harbaugh's agent were to call their ownership tomorrow and says John Harbaugh will be there on Monday if you get rid of their coach, in sort of a nicer, less slimy way of doing so, because John Harbaugh gets to have his pick of the litter in a lot of ways here, which teams would say, yes, we'll take Harbaugh, we'll fire our coach tomorrow? And what Christian and I came up with, Evan, I want to get your reaction to it instead of redoing the entire exercise. We said that locally, the Miami Dolphins would absolutely say yes if he called Stephen Ross tomorrow and said, Mike McDaniel, if he's out, I will take over. You think they would get rid of Mike McDaniel?
That's an easy one. And by the way, I know we want to run through this quickly. I do think context is important specifically. That would not be the first time Stephen Ross, with an employed head coach, reached out to a Harbaugh to take that employed head coach's job.
Good
the
point.
late, great Tony Sparano, who I think we look back upon, may he rest in peace, and I liked him at the time, but Dolphins fans should be way more appreciative because you know what he did? The guy got to the playoffs, which Dolphins are not used to recently, right? So yes, 1,000%, that's an easy one. I just wanted to provide some more context, as I know you know, but for the fans, that is kind of the norm for Stephen Ross. Go ahead.
Norm for Stephen Ross, indeed. Christian and I both agreed that the other team in Florida, Tampa Bay, would both say yes if he were to call and said, get rid of Todd Bowles, I'll coach on Monday. What do you think?
I don't think they should, but I think they would because there's something weird there. Todd Bowles, I think, has done a great job there, and I think they probably have thought about firing him. You can't get away with firing him for someone that would be like, but if it's John Harbaugh, you kind of forget, they did Todd Bowles dirty. So I agree.
Gerard Mayo is a good example of this because they get Vrabel in there, and I don't think anybody remembers that Gerard Mayo was.
That's not fair. Todd Bowles won 3 divisions in a row, and he finished with the same record with the team that won the division. Gerard Mayo was horrible last year. Trust me, I watched every snap. That was not pretty.
But the point being is everybody thought it was unfair after only one season, but, it happens before. It happened to Pete Carroll. He's going to be a Hall of Fame coach. Nonetheless, speaking of the AFC East, the New York Jets, would you be under the impression that they'd get rid of Aaron Glenn in favor of John Harbaugh if he were to call?
So under your premise, is Harbaugh is making the outgoing call?
I think
because
you could play it either way. If the Jets, maybe the Jets were that team that have a coach and called Harbaugh's agent.
The only reason I asked you that way, Colin, obviously I think the Jets would make the outgoing call. I don't think Harbaugh would take that call. But if you're spinning it as Harbaugh for whatever reason says, you know what? Empty franchise, 1 million draft picks over the next 2 years, 2nd pick in the draft. I can only look good there. I actually am interested in that. Well, that's a different story. Yes, if Harbaugh called the Jets, they fire Aaron Glenn. I just don't believe that's going to happen.
I agree. Let's get the obvious ones out of the way. Now, Christian and I disagreed on this one. I said yes. Christian says no. Cincinnati.
Again, I have to provide the context. If Harbaugh calls Cincinnati, because I'd love to coach your team, based on their actions, I think they would say no because of the fact that the person that runs the Cincinnati Bengals is Joe Burrow, not anyone else. 2 wide receivers. I want them both. Give them big money. Okay, well, we can't. We're going to have no one on defense. Sure, Joe, whatever you want. Give me the tight end, Gesicki. Oh, sure, Joe, whatever you want. Give me Zach Taylor. Sure, Joe, whatever you want. I want to play the last couple of games of the season. We're eliminated from the playoffs. I'm injury prone. Oh, sure, Joe, whatever you want. If Joe Burrow doesn't want John Harbaugh, he's not going to be the coach of the Bengals.
maybe there's some truth to that, but I think Joe Burrow can look across the street in the division and see the success that they have had, whether it be playoff disappointment or not. But that's under the impression that Joe Burrow would say yes. I think generally Cincinnati fans would be over the moon about that, and I think the team would be better off because of that.
No, I'm not arguing that, and I'm not anti-Zach Taylor, by the way. I think Zach Taylor is better than people think. I'm not saying he's, Vince Lombardi, but when you look around the league at coaches that don't win when their quarterbacks get hurt, this guy's won some games when his quarterback's gotten hurt. Just saying. Go ahead, next one.
All right, now let's get into the playoff territory. Because I don't want to do the first-year guys. I don't think it's fair to throw out there New Orleans. I think New Orleans would actually stick with Kellen Moore if it really came to it. But
I would vote for him for Coach of the Year this year.
I would not, but I understand the why he,
I think Kellen Moore did a better job this year than Vrabel, Ben Johnson, and Liam Cohen. How about that?
I don't think so. Because it didn't turn around until Shuck got in there, and he didn't get Shuck in there until 10 games into the year. Keep that in mind.
Boy, he was pretty good. He was pretty
great.
good.
I'm a Shuck guy. I'm a Tyler Shuck guy.
There was something with that guy.
That guy. And I like it because he stuck it to everybody. Because when you go back to the draft, that was after the pick where Mel Kiper lost his mind. And he's talking about how is Shedeur Sanders falling all this far. It was really because of not only the Dylan Gabriel pick, but also the Tyler Shuck pick when it was early second round, early third round, whatever it was. That's when everybody started complaining, Shedeur Sanders is dropping behind this guy, 24-year-old rookie. Good for him that he's actually able to establish his career a little bit. So I actually like that. All right. Let me throw this out there. Buffalo Bills. If John Harbaugh calls and says, hey, just keep us in mind on Monday, whatever happens. Does the Buffalo Bills take that into consideration in regards to how they handle Sean McDermott?
They should. To me, that's an easy one. An easy one. Sean McDermott should follow the way of the man that he worked for a long period of time, and that is Andy Reid in Philadelphia. What he should do is they should look at it and say, Sean, boy, were you great here. Boy, did you do a hell of a job. Never got over the hump. It's probably time for us to part ways, and you should be a head coach the next day somewhere else, and maybe you'll have the Andy Reid Kansas City experience, but that is a no-brainer. If they lose to Jacksonville, your Jaguars on Sunday, there is no question. If John Harbaugh wants that job, he should have that job. No question.
And that's it. That's over Joe Brady, too, who's in the building, too, as some, aspiring coordinator. I sort of agree with you.
Joe Brady doesn't have to leave in that scenario.
He does not.
If you're Joe Brady and you're begging, hey, John, I don't have a head coaching job elsewhere. Let me get your blessing now. Look at all the guys that worked for you and your brother all over the league. I want your blessing in addition to McDermott. So he doesn't have to leave.
Now, here's the final one that I really think is interesting. And I talked to a couple people at our sister station up at ESPN Milwaukee, and they all disagreed. But I'm curious in your perspective, being a Wisconsin, some connection yourself. If he calls Green Bay and he says, see what happens on Saturday night if you guys lose 21-17 to the Bears and miss out on the postseason as a 7 seed for the third year running, keep me in mind. What do the Packers do?
Yeah, so I think they should say yes. I don't think they will based on the similar conversations that I've had. Because I said one other thing. I brought up to some people there. I said, what about LaFleur flipping the script on them? And they said, what do you mean? I said, he wants a contract extension. They haven't given him one. Does he use the two openings in places he's been before, Tennessee and Atlanta, to his advantage? Does he start flirting with them? Say, hey, wait a minute. These guys want me here. Can we get something done? Does he maybe leave them? I think if LaFleur fails this weekend, which Ben Johnson, people hate me for saying this, Colin, Ben Johnson better win. Ben Johnson's phenomenal. Ben Johnson's exceeded expectations. But this specific game this weekend, he better win. Because you called out LaFleur in the opening press conference. I love beating him twice a year. You beat him once, you have him in the playoffs at home as a 2 seed. You better win on Saturday night. There was no reason. Colin Russo didn't get to ESPN West Palm and say, boy, I can't wait to be in this slot better than Evan Cohen. Well, you did, actually, now that I think about it. But anyway, the point, you get the point. There was
and especially a team that's lost 4 in a row. They've lost 4 in a row. They're reeling. They're 9-7-1 without their best player on defense. You're going to lose that game at home?
Right. That's right. So Ben Johnson better win on Saturday night. That's a side story. But anyway, so I think the Packers should take that call because if you're unwilling to extend Matt LaFleur, what's your easy way out to your fans who probably like LaFleur? Guys, we got you John Harbaugh here. You think John Harbaugh's not going to be good all 3 phases? You don't think he's going to know what to do with Jordan Love and Micah? Really? So to me, that's a yes as well. There's one other team. Are you done with your list?
Who's your other team that you want to throw out there?
Okay, so what you did to start this was that Schefter report. I think there's two of the juiciest things that I think have come out in relation to Harbaugh. One, he was definitively fired. This was not a mutual parting of ways. How many times did you and Mike on your show or Theo talk about the idea of, hey, at the end of the year, maybe the Ravens and Harbaugh part ways? You probably talked
there were mixtures of reports coming out from all the different NFL insiders, and then it came out that the ownership was frustrated with his playoff success. But
he got fired. Right. But my point is, every time we presented the hypothetical, I think all of us, in trying to be careful to some extent on the air, we're like, well, they're not going to fire him. It's going to be a mutual party. No, they fired him. That was the part one of the juicy part of it. Part two is what you said about Adam's tweet. Adam was Adam was very smart in the way he did it, and it's obviously information based.
That's why the agent gave it to him, so he could make that. All of a sudden, he tells other teams, keep calling.
And that's a very good agent, very smart agent, very nice. It's Kevin Harlan's brother. You know that.
I did not know that. Thank you.
Well, you should know that stuff.
All right, continue.
Anyway, the fact that there's a team with an employed coach. So I said this morning on Unsportsmanlike, I know you listened to all 4 hours here on ESPN.
Yes, I did. And I listened back twice. Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't even think there's enough time in between to do that.
No commercials, Evan.
Yeah. I think the team that makes the most sense for him is Washington.
So we threw this out there, and Chris and I both agreed that we don't think that's going to happen. I know they're in a weird spot because they just got rid of both coordinators, but you're under the impression they'd get rid of Dan Quinn.
No. So what I said is I think this is the move that makes the most sense, and that both parties should actually try to get this done. Let me explain why, and then I'll give you the aftermath of this. Harbaugh taking over that team, where, by the way, what is it, an hour plus from his house probably in Baltimore, where he could say to his wife, listen, I'm going to get another apartment over there. I'll be back and forth a little bit. Well, we don't have to move, right? And I understand you're a millionaire. Who cares? But it's annoying to move. Nobody, it's annoying, right? So you don't have to move. You get Jaden Daniels, who's the comp that people made. Jaden Daniels plays like Lamar. He obviously got some great things out of Lamar. You have the ability to make some moves there in terms of veteran guys. You're in a division where, yes, the Eagles are the champions, but you're probably you're not afraid of the Giants. You're not afraid of the Cowboys. There's a winnable. It's a winnable division.
It's takeable.
It's takeable. A good way of saying it. And I just think that, and the front office, I think he'll like that. Adam Peters, the guy who comes over from San Francisco. Bob Myers in the mix. From Warrior. Josh Harris,
new stadium.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good things there. And I don't personally think Dan Quinn's a big time coach. Everybody says nicest guy in the world. Former Dolphins and Gators assistant. 28-3. For some reason, it's on Kyle Shanahan's resume more than his, which I don't understand considering he was the head coach. Anyway, I think that's the best fit. Reached out to somebody this morning, somebody you may have mentioned in this setup.
Okay.
I said to this person, I threw this out in the air. You think it's crazy? He goes, not happening. Okay, back to you, Bob. But conceptually, whether it's going to happen or not, tell me a better fit. Let's play that game, Colin. Conceptually, whether it happens or not, and leave out Kansas City, right? Leave out the ones that you know have no chance. You place John Harbaugh where? Best fit.
So the reason you got to think about what the mold is. John Harbaugh, in my opinion, is somebody that the bad teams are looking at as somebody who gets you above water. If you're a sunken ship below the ocean, John Harbaugh, at the very least, can get you back, sort of like Tomlin, but a little bit better than that, can get you back floating above water, which is why all the bad teams could really use his services tomorrow. Now, is it hard to make the argument that teams that are already great, trying to vie for playoff wins, would go get guy who didn't have enough playoff wins into their team and their coaching staff to try to get them more playoff wins? I understand that it might make sense in theory. But that's the whole reason that the Ravens got rid of him. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen again. New fresh start, new faces, Andy Reid, call it like you want it. It could happen. I understand. But my perspective is teams that are vying for playoff wins, trying to get over the hump. That is exactly the reason that John Harbaugh was removed, as you said, from the head coach of the Ravens.
You don't like the Buffalo, you don't like the Green Bay concept because that's a get over the hump.
Would he not be the only guy in America who could handle that New York Giants job? Would he not be the only guy in America who could handle that job?
He'd be good there, but you know what? You're also doing in a way. Aren't you also making the case as to why the Dolphins should make him the highest paid coach in the history of the sport?
You could totally say the same thing about the Dolphins. I just think the Giants it's a famous.
December 30th, 2000, if I'm not mistaken. C-Katt, look it up. December 30th, 2000. I believe that is the last time the Miami Dolphins won a playoff game. I don't even think you were alive.
No. I don't think it's been that long, but maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
December 30th, 2000, I believe, was the last time the Miami Dolphins won a playoff game.
Yeah,
so if your whole get above water thing, if you give me some life, revive the franchise, then you should ante up if you're Stephen Ross and get John Harbaugh. And you know what you say to John Harbaugh? I'm going to name you team president, head coach, general manager, water boy, whatever the hell you want. This franchise is yours. I'm going to make City Place even nicer than it already is. And you worry about this football team because I'm out.
That's exactly so. Same portion. I agree with you, and I think that would make a lot of sense for Harbaugh. I think the Giants would do the same thing. Giants are in a situation where they got Joe Shane sitting there. That's something where John Harbaugh can walk through the front door and said, "Get rid of him," and then they will do it in a second. They will sell Shane's house for him. So I think that's an understanding that I think comes out. I think the Giants have a little bit more young talent that they offer. Good defensive line. They have talent offensively. They have young players on rookie contracts. That's why it'd be a little bit more attractive. And it's a historic franchise. You want to talk about outside of the Super Bowl years, done a whole lot of nothing. So I understand both sides. I think they're two good
Giants are more historic, but the Giants have been the Jets in blue for a while now. Okay? Now, I was right about that. Thank you, C-Katt. The exact day, by the way, Dolphins.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I want to point one other thing out with your Giants hypothetical versus so Giants and Dolphins could be in reality, Colin, it almost feels like it's going to be the Giants and Dolphins competing for them. That's what it kind of feels like right now for me, right? So who goes LSU, Lane Kiffin? Which team is more likely to say, I don't care what it takes or how it takes me to get there, I am getting there? Because I think that's where the Dolphins are more likely than the Giants.
I agree with you on that. Because
even though they have an employee head coach.
And John Mara's sick right now, so you don't know how involved and how desperate he is to get John Harbaugh in the building. You don't know who's making every decision there. And Joe Shane, is he under the impression that he's going to be around if they go get John Harbaugh? Why would he make that call? He's like, John come in for an interview, and then all of a sudden they're packing Joe Shane's bags when John settles in? I mean, I don't know if that's the right move for him.
Yeah, but you remember a year ago, everybody thought that about Elliott Wolf with the Patriots, their general manager.
That's true.
Whose dad and lives in Jupiter, Ron Wolf, the great Ron Wolf, all-time great general manager. Everybody thought, when they get Vrabel, he's going to get rid of the coach. The GM. He actually kept him around, brought in Ryan Cowden, a guy who he knew from Tennessee and previously with the Giants. And so he kept him around. I don't think it's impossible that he gets kept around. I just think because of all the reasons we've discussed, that if it does come down to the Dolphins and the Giants are a better job. The Dolphins may ultimately do whatever it takes to try to get him, though. He may be their get-out-of-jail-free card.
I could be warmed up to that idea. I do think you're onto something there. That's Evan Cohen, of course, of Unsportsmanlike, which you could hear 6 to 10 weekdays on ESPN Radio all throughout, and the ESPN app, ESPN2, ESPNU, if you want to watch them. On top of that, they're TV men at the end of the day. Now, Evan, one thing about here, especially here in South Florida, is we get the Fiesta Bowl coming up, and then the Miami Hurricanes, who had a huge marquee win over Mike Rizzo's Ohio State a little over a week ago. They're taking on the Lane Kiffin-less Ole Miss Rebels. Now, tell me a little bit about your perspective on Miami going into this game, and do you think they're the favorite here on out outside of Indiana?
Well, let's talk about the important stuff here. What an appearance Mike Rizzo had during that Orange Bowl show. Oh, my God. That 11 minutes. Oh, my God. You would have thought Ohio State losing, that somebody literally went up to Mike and said, forget Ohio State losing. We are going to stab you. We're going to kill your cat. We're going to kill your dog. And that, we're going to smear your family name. So you would have thought that Ohio State losing to Miami was Mario Cristobal, Carson Beck, and the entire crew just beating Mike Rizzo. Mike, couple things. Number one, you're not on the team. Number two, you can't take it that personally. Oh, my God. And number three, you got to realize what C-Katt and Colin are doing to you. They're just needling you. And if it's that easy to be needled, they're going to bring out the sewing kit and needle you nonstop. Oh, my God.
And then Theo was the foot soldier at the front of the line, being the Miami fan of the bunch.
Yes.
And I actually thought the best part
Theo took a little bit of a hit on that because Theo was trying to convince Mike it's okay, we're being nice to you, while you and C-Katt are just poking at him the whole time.
Now, another thing that I thought was great about that spot, which we did live at the Orange Bowl before Texas Tech, Oregon on New Year's Day, was Steve Politziner, who is a Good Karma Brands president in his orange jacket, which he wears everywhere, by the way. Steve was there, and Mike all of a sudden starts giving us this sob story about how he's given us the time on his day off and how he's really doing us a favor because he's, hey, it's my day off. I'm giving you guys a little time here, and you guys are pounding me. And then Steve was right there. Well, we have 7 teammates all around us at the table on New Year's Day in Miami, Florida.
Where was Mike? How are you not there for the Orange Bowl?
Mike was in Cleveland, Ohio, I believe.
And I didn't even see Mike at the Boca Bowl.
Mike was at the Boca Bowl. He was on stage. He was on the Fan Fest stage.
No, I know he was there. I'm saying I didn't see him. But yeah, Mike, day off. Day off. Mike, you're 12 years old.
Right when he said that, I'm like, Steve, grab a mic. Steve, come over here.
You guys, Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, you guys have been on ESPN West Palm for a year plus. I didn't take a day off for 2 years. I was too scared. I was scared bleepless. Like, if I take a day off, they're going to find somebody better. And so I was petrified. I literally refused. I got forced to take a day off because my parents were in town. I was hosting 7 p to 9 p. I'll never forget this. I got forced by the aforementioned Steve to take a day off to have dinner with my parents because I refused. Because I was too nervous. If I took the day off, they were going to find somebody else to host the show for
You would get Wally pipped.
That's
Wally
right.
Pipp took a day off. Lou Gehrig comes in, and away we go, Wally.
We could have
But you know what? I guess
hosting Unsportsmanlike in this scenario. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, you know what then? Actually, now that I think about it, Mike is like me. Mike didn't take the day off because he worked hard on that phoner on a day off. Now, Colin, I know. Wait, hold on. Colin, I know well enough to know Colin was trying to needle Mike to annoy Mike. C-Katt, I actually think may have gotten bothered by that conversation.
No, Evan, you got to listen more, my man. I know you got a lot of things going on, but this is the core of the show. Is myself and Colin trying to get under Rizzo's skin.
Christian texted Mike to the point of him leaving our show group chat on that New Year's Eve night. He left it in the middle of the game.
Last text, enough, period. Mike Rizzo has left the chat.
That was all Christian. That was not me. I'm not the type during the game, but that's what he did. So Christian was talking. He said saying was a pity Heisman invite.
Yeah, it's a sport of the game. When your buddy has a very important game and your buddy roots for a team that you don't like, you make sure that you are the bane of their existence, especially when the college football team you root for is significantly less successful.
Especially when he's a hyper-emotional Ohio State fan.
What I don't like, I don't like the rub it in text. I don't like that, though.
I'm not a rub it in text guy. I agree with you on that. That's all Christian. Christian loves that.
Oh, God. I literally can remember for the last, when did I start? I started national hosting in 2011.
Oh, who's counting?
No, I know. I'm going to tell you something. So that's 15 years of being on the air nationally.
Yes.
I could probably give you the list of people that have done the rub it in text, and that bothers me. And that
so you hold a grudge in that regard.
Oh my God! If you do the rub it in text, I don't need if the Heat last night are getting blown out by the T-Wolves. I don't need. Boy, your team stinks. I don't need that. You want to
regular season game, playoff games, end of season. That's rough. I agree.
Oh, I understand that, but you don't think a loss against the T-Wolves bothers me? It does. It does.
But here's the thing.
Yes.
So mission accomplished. Like that is why they did
that's it. That's just being not a night. Like, did anybody do that to you when the Ravens lost the other night?
They should have. See,
yeah, you know what?
I give it. I can take it.
Colin are better than you in that spot. If Mike and Colin did not do the rub it in text, you want to bring it up on the air a couple of days later, next day on the show. Boy, your team stunk it up. That's fine. I don't need, after that kick is missed by Tyler Loop, I don't need a text message. Boy, you guys suck. I don't need
coaches haven't even shaken hands yet.
Yeah, you get a text message. You know what? Now that I think about this, I'm on Mike Rizzo's side. I've just decided this. I am
he did do us a solid by coming on this day off. Yeah.
I am on Mike Rizzo. Yeah, the man worked on his day off. And he also made a point to say he's all in on the Canes. So Mike at least was complimentary of the Canes. You know what? Team Mike Rizzo in this.
Now, you mentioned the Miami Hurricanes. We got a game against Ole Miss tomorrow. If you're thinking from Miami's perspective, should Miami be afraid of this team, or is this a better matchup? And do you think Miami's the favorite outside of Indiana? Go ahead.
No, Miami should be in the national championship game. It should be Miami and Indiana in the national championship game. They absolutely – my thing, and I think I said this to you on the air a couple of weeks ago. I could be wrong. Maybe it was somewhere else. I know I said it on our show.
Okay.
Miami can enter every game thinking non-quarterback they have the best player on either side of the ball.
You did say that with us.
Yeah, and I think that has proven it. That was a good point retroactively, because my whole theme is in this spot, Carson Beck, stay out of the way. Stay out of the way. Don't lose the game, right? And Carson –
in both games too. Both
games. Because you and I both are not Carson Beck guys. Neither of us love Carson Beck, right? I just stay away. Stay out of the game. I have another thing about with Carson Beck. I had a major issue with Nuno, our producer, this morning. Do you know that Nuno, we do these promos for the next day, like, hey, this is Evan Cohen, join us tomorrow, whatever. And so in the promo he wrote for the next day, the commercial, I mean, it was English terms and not radio terms. In the commercial, basically, for our show on Sportsmanlike that he wrote for the next day, he said, can two-time champ Carson Beck advance to the finals? And we said, Michelle and I in a break said, two-time. Like, he goes, yeah, he was on the team. I go, you can't consider Carson Beck a two-time champion when he wasn't even playing. You
that's
can't.
Not fair.
Yeah,
I agree.
that's rough,
He's trying
right?
to get a rise out of you. That's the rub it in. That's the rub it in.
Yeah,
voice
because he
commercial
knows I don't like him, so he likes me saying, a two-time champion, Carson Beck.
Did you end up ad-libbing it, or did you say it as
well,
such?
Michelle had to do it, so I'm not doing that. I think Miami wins. Low-scoring game. And Gadget plays Malachi Tony. How about that? Give me some Gadget.
Okay. Now, but one thing, does that make you nervous in any regard? Because the fact that they're playing the game almost in spite of quarterback play, trying to sort of mask it, hide it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you think that hurts them in the long run for national championship aspirations? Because you go down the list of all the teams that have won national titles, really in the college football playoff era, I make the argument right here, right now, today, maybe outside of 2023 Michigan, which is a 15-0 team, that they might have the worst offense of the bunch.
I would have to go back and look at that, obviously, in terms
of think about the Georgia teams. Both the Alabama teams that won with Tua and with Mac Jones had better offenses. The Clemson team had better offense. The LSU team had a better offense. The Michigan, I actually think that's a much better offense because of the rushing attack, but I understand.
Who was it who said this? Somebody said this about the Michigan offense recently. I cannot remember who it was. That maybe Harbaugh knew something we all should have listened to. He never threw the ball with J.J. McCarthy, and maybe there was a reason for that. So that was the last
time they almost won in spite of the quarterback play.
That's what I was going to say. Because as you're going through this, you're talking about on field in college. Watson was phenomenal. Lawrence phenomenal. The Alabama quarterbacks in college on the field. Forget what Mac has become in the pros or whatever else. Phenomenal. Joe Burrow's LSU team was an all-star team. Stetson Bennett, a two-time champion, not Carson Beck. I mean, that team was loaded. And Stetson Bennett was a very good college quarterback.
He was a great college quarterback. I agree. Big player, big game player.
So I think the Michigan comp would be the best comp. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't Michigan set a record for guys drafted that year? And Miami has a ton of guys that are going to get drafted over the next few years, non-quarterbacks.
Right.
So
they'd have to pull a little bit of a Michigan. They'd have to pull a little bit of a Michigan.
You did something there. You did some homework. That's a good job by you. Rare.
Evan, so you think right now today, is Miami your national championship favorite? Would you see them beating Indiana? Let's say if they get past the semifinal game. Last thing.
I hope so, yeah. I'm all in on them. I'm all in on them doing this here. And I think it would just be awesome. It would be awesome. And I'd be wrong because I'm somebody that does root for Miami. But I said before the season, and boy, this looks bad, I'd rather have DJ Lagway than Carson Beck. That's a bad take. I don't even know where DJ is. He going to end up at Florida State, by the way?
He might end up at a middling ACC school. Yes.
Okay. Is that Florida State, or are you saying a different one?
I heard he's taking Virginia is another one that's on his list.
Well, Virginia won the ACC almost this year, basically.
Well, hold on. We didn't see them in the postseason. I mean, that's a team that got completely, scoured.
You have to understand. I sit next to a man that's 6'8", 330 pounds every day that went to Virginia. It's smart for me to be kind to Virginia.
You love Tony Elliott. Oh,
all of us. Oh, he's been on with us. Coach of the year. Coach, you're the best. I love you.
So wow, okay, you're under the impression that this is the year for Miami.
Where are you? Where are you? I've been asked. I asked all the college analysts that come on with us this question. You answer it. We'll leave it with this. All right, because this will get you to the Miami answer. Do you believe? It sounds weird, but hear me out. Do you believe all 4 teams can win the national championship that are left?
No, I don't.
See, neither do I. Neither do I.
I don't. I think it's Indiana, and you might call me crazy. I'll hold out a sliver for Ole Miss. I really do. I think Ole Miss is dangerous. I think Ole Miss is playing with a chip on their shoulder.
What's the best story? Is Ole Miss the best story? 89.
So we ranked these yesterday. The best story of all of them is Ole Miss, if they were to do it, would probably overtake Indiana as a story, just period. Indiana and Ole Miss, in my opinion, are interchangeable. Miami's number 3. In terms of big story, that's number 3. So they're almost like a little brother here in terms of big story.
You're a history guy. Did you bring up 1989 Michigan basketball when talking about Ole Miss yesterday?
I did not, no.
Well, that's a bad job by you.
That's a bad job.
Do you know what?
Well, there's a number of coach with the getting rid of the coach midseason.
Bill Frieder left Michigan, goes to Arizona State right before the tournament. Steve Fisher takes over. They win it all. Do you know who they played that year?
In 1989?
Yes.
I do not know who they played.
They played Seton Hall.
I was going to say UNLV, but I was
PJ Carlissimo. You should know that.
That was the year that PJ made it. Okay, hold on. I had PJ on a couple months ago, and we did talk about that.
Did you talk to him about that?
We talked about the Big East tournament that year.
Did you talk to him about the possibility of Ole Miss being in this spot? You should have known that.
Yes, we should have done Lane Kiffin. Now, Christian and I had the last question here, actually. Christian and I are on different pages here. Is Lane Kiffin viewed as a national championship head coach if Ole Miss were able to win it all?
No.
Definitely. Ole Miss robbed Lane Kiffin the opportunity to coach his guys at the end of the season. He wanted to do that. It is out of his control.
Well, then, okay, hold on a second. C-Katt, I don't ever want to hear you hold someone not winning big games against them ever again in sports as a player, as a coach. And here's why. Because you're not valuing the emotion, the energy, the nervousness of a big game because you're giving Kiffin a title without ever having to put him in that moment as the head coach in a semifinal or championship game and acting as if it's so easy just to go in there and do that. That is ridiculous.
You should love Harbaugh. You should love him. Are you kidding me? Sean McDermott should be in the Hall of Fame.
That's right.
If Pete Golding was such a great head coach, why wasn't he the head coach instead of Lane Kiffin? You know what I mean? Like, I can't just take that away from Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin was the hottest head coaching opportunity on the market.
Is Carson Wentz a Super Bowl winning quarterback?
Yes.
In the sense that
come on, Christian. Not in the all right, so then Carson Beck is a 2-time champion.
Carson Beck, the 2-time champion. Christian, give that spot to Christian next time you don't want to do it. Hey, Christian will be happy to voice that for you.
Give me a break.
I agree. I completely lost. If anything, Lane Kiffin is probably the number one person who's most pissed off about this.
What's the award you give to TV shows? There's like the Oscars, the Emmys, the Tonys.
The Emmys. The Golden Globes.
I think Evan Cohen is a award winner for First Take because you're a part of that show. You know what? You deserve the credit, just like Steve.
7 or 8 times over the last year, and you think so
Evan will be on stage and getting the award. Him and Stephen A. will share the speech.
I walked by Stephen A. today. I don't think he knew I existed. What the hell are you talking about?
It takes a village to put together live programming every single day.
Evan, prepare your speech for when First Take wins a Emmy.
Can you imagine that? They get an Emmy, a sports Emmy. Ladies and First Take, and I just thank you. Who is this?
I filled in. You guys don't remember 7-8 times?
Yes, in the Wisconsin alumni profile, they will include that award under the paragraph of Evan Cohen.
Boy, our sales team is struggling, huh? No commercials there.
Evan, we appreciate it as always. We appreciate the Miami insight, some Harbaugh insight, and some putting Christian that argument for him to bed. But I appreciate it as always. Looking forward to talking against
basketball. 1989 Michigan basketball. You should know
I've seen all teams. I remember I did the 89 team with Carlissimo. I did screw that up. You're not wrong there. Yeah. I thought I mixed it up because UNLV I believe was 1990.
They were. That's correct.
So all right, I had that a little mixed up. Thank you.
All right, see you guys.
Bye, Evan. That's Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike, which you hear 6 to 10 weekdays on these very airwaves of ESPN nationally on Unsportsmanlike, former host of ESPN West Palm. Christian Catt, Colin Russo will loop in Christina Costanza for a little Tina happy hour. First, 888-760-3776, the Baptist Health Hotline. Baptist Health, welcome to pro-level orthopedic care at Baptist Health. From sports injuries to everyday aches, our expert team delivers the same advanced care that is trusted by the pros. Get back to the life and the activities that you love. Learn more at baptisthealth.net/ortho. Christina Costanza, the Tina Happy Hour coming up after this. It's Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Anna Jar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
As teams fight for their shot to hoist the trophy, make sure the only thing turning up the heat is the action on the field. Keep your home in the win column with EDS Air Conditioning. Qualified customers can score 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong in the postseason, not in your living room. With more than 800 Google reviews and a 4.8-star rating, EDS has been the trusted MVP since 2006. Visit EDSIsYes.com today. Stay cool through every playoff moment and don't sweat the small stuff.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
It's Tina. You know how important it is to keep your car running. And when it comes to my car, I only trust St. Lucie Battery and Tire. They've been taking care of South Florida for over 50 years, and they're still family owned. Need new tires? They've got all the big brands. Battery issues? They've got it. Cars, trucks, boats, RVs, and even commercial fleets. And if you ever get stuck, their 24/7 roadside emergency service is a total lifesaver. Go see my friends at St. Lucie Battery and Tire, slbt.com. They'll keep you going.
Don't fumble your finances. Whether you're running a business or running plays, Jay Zolo and Associates keeps your books tight in your stress light. With nearly 30 years of experience, Jay Zolo is your go-to coach for QuickBooks, offering expert consulting, one-on-one training, and full-service bookkeeping. Jay Zolo and Associates, simplifying your books so you can win on and off the field. Visit jzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful Defender 110 P300S for just $849 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Safebound Moving and Storage is growing. We're looking for new movers and drivers who lead by example, show up ready, and take pride in their work. If you're dependable, willing to learn, and thrive in a fast-paced environment, you'll fit right in. This isn't just a job, it's a career. Do you have what it takes? If so, visit safeboundmoving.com to apply today. safeboundmoving.com.
The Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, an affiliate of the Palm Beach Health Network, is committed to delivering high-quality care to the communities they serve. Their award-winning physicians and specialists provide a level of expertise that has resulted in regional firsts and outstanding patient outcomes. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362. To learn more about the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, visit pbhnphysiciangroup.com, pbhnphysiciangroup.com to get in touch with the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group.
Colin, have you checked out Vitacost Sport Certified Marketplace?
Vitacost? I love Vitacost!
Right? It's a full online sports marketplace. Over 500 performance products from trusted brands like Vega, Thorne, Vital Proteins, and Muscle Milk, all free from banned substances.
So no guessing, no label scrubbing, just clean fuel to train harder and recover smarter.
You got it. And don't forget, save 20% with code ESPN20 at sportcertified.com.
Fuel clean, train smarter. Try Sports Certified by Vitacost
today. Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
No Theo Dorsey today. Colin Russo filling in on Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3. Colin Russo, Christian Cat, as always, behind the glass. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X on YouTube at ESPN South Florida, on Facebook and Twitter at ESPN West Palm. Miss any of the program, go listen back on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, all those great places. Just go to Theoretically Speaking. So, welcoming in Miss Christina Costanza, Tina in the Wild, for the Tina Happy Hour, which will be joining us until 4 o'clock. Tina, Happy New Year. How are you? What's going on?
I don't think we can say Happy New Year anymore.
All right,
it's
so
the 7th.
never mind.
I think we have to stop that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
we're done.
we're done.
Excuse me.
That's
Yeah,
out.
That's out. All right, so you
I
just...
will say I did do some emails today and say Happy New Year because I just haven't talked to these people in a while, and
so
I feel like
that's a little hypocritical. That
I
you
know,
just said that,
but
right?
I've seen you for 3 days, so we don't need to say it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're done. You don't have to say. We don't have to say Happy New Year anymore.
What's your cocktail of the day?
So my cocktail of the day today is, speaking of the new year, 2026 is the year of the fire horse. And so I did.
What is that?
According to who?
According
Like,
to
not the
in the
Chinese.
Chinese zodiac.
What?
Yes. 2026 is the year of the fire horse, beginning February 17th. And do you want me to tell you about it? Like what it means?
Yeah, tell us all about
All right, first I need to know what a fire horse is.
It's the year of the snake. Oh, wait, never
No,
mind.
no, that was this past year. So right now we're shedding. Snakes were shedding, until February 17th. 2025 was the year of the snake. 2026 is the year of the fire horse in the Chinese zodiac. And that means bringing intense...
2026, year of the horse. Good call.
Fire horse.
I'm not seeing any fire, but I do see the horse.
I'm exclusively seeing fire horse.
Okay. I don't know what website I'm on. TravelChinaGuide.com.
You just go to Google,
TravelChinaGuide.com.
Okay. The fire horse means bringing intense dynamic energy, symbolizing freedom, passion, bold change, and transformation, a rare occurrence happening only every 60 years, marked by independence and drive for progress, urging action, innovation, and breaking old patterns. I'm excited for 2026 in the fire horse. I love it. So my cocktail of the day is the spiced fire horse dark and stormy, which is infused spiced rum, ginger beer, Angostura bitters, garnished with chili and lime, which sounds delicious.
With
Smoky-
chili and lime?
With chili and lime, yeah.
Chili and lime.
Chili and lime.
Chilean lime?
Chile and
From
lime,
from Chile? From
I
the
don't know.
country
Is
of
there-
Chile? Or
There's
is it
one L.
chili as in chili you get on a hot dog?
I doubt that.
Question. Wait, you said it.
I doubt that.
So it's Chilean lime.
Chile? It only
Well,
says,
no, I think it's chili and lime.
Yeah.
Chili as in what you put on a hot dog? Where you get it like a barbecue?
No, Colin.
No,
Why would you
spelled-
put that in a drink?
Spelled CHILE, right?
No, CHILI.
Chile is the country. That's how you pronounce it. It's not
It's probably
chili.
a spice.
I don't know. That's
Yeah.
spelling.
Chili powder?
That's
Yes.
spelling.
Yes, it's probably around the rim.
All
I don't
right.
have a picture.
You-
But it's
all
not, the beans and the meat and everything, Colin. It's
I-
not that. It's not actual chili.
I've never seen a cocktail with that. All right, continue.
Okay, well,
So what
yeah.
else is in it?
With actual chili that you put on a hot dog? I've never seen a cocktail like that either.
So what else is in the cocktail?
I finished it.
Oh, that's it. So it's Chilean lime and bitters and some spiced rum
And ginger beer.
and ginger beer.
Yes.
All right. So if you went to a bartender and you said, I would like a
Spiced Firehorse, Dark and Stormy.
I would like a spiced Firehorse Dark and Stormy.
They probably have no idea what I'm talking
You'd
about.
have to explain that.
Yes.
No, that's up to them. They got to go to the back
And
Google
pull out the
it.
book.
Yeah.
Google it,
Underneath
yes.
the bar. Are you that person? So if they don't know what drink you're ordering at the bar and you're trying to get something really complicated, you'll explain it to them?
No, I'm pretty basic with my cocktails.
Oh, I
Christian,
thought
have
you
you
were
ever
saying
done
you'll
this?
say Google it.
Have you ever done that? Where they're like, I don't know what that is. Can you explain it to me? And you explain it to them instead of just getting something else?
When I order my girlfriend's preferred drink, which is a lemon drop martini, it's not that crazy, but we do have to ask for a specific type of vodka. That's the most I get there.
Okay. But you know what? Some people do that. They're like, oh, I'll take, the Chilean Firehorse. And they're like, I don't know what that is. It's like, all right, I'll explain it to you. You got your notepad out? So some people do that, and I would never.
But I feel like if you're a bartender, the onus is on you. You don't make the Patreon walk you through it. You gotta, okay, say that again.
They write it down.
And then you go and look it up.
Yeah.
That's, I feel like, the good thing to do.
Maybe.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, I understand. I would just, I don't know. I've never had to do that, and I don't think I ever will. But all right, so there's your cocktail of the day. Looking forward to trying that in the year 2026.
You're the Firehorse.
A couple other things that Christian alluded to was in and out. So this is what Tina has proclaimed as her big 2026. You're not a New Year's resolution person. I got that correct?
Yeah, I don't really want to have. Yeah, I don't have resolutions.
But what you do is you've established what is in and out on the new year. So what I mean by that is you have certain trends or things that you do, activities, and you call it in, as in we are going to be doing this in 2026, and out, as in we are removing these things from our day-to-day activity life. Am I getting this correct?
Yes. Just about, yeah.
And you have about what? How many of these?
I made like 18. This became really fun throughout the past few days creating the
You
list.
have 18 of them.
Like for Tina, not for us. Like,
Yeah.
she's saying, like, in the comfort of her own abode.
Yeah, this was fun.
This is fun.
It was fun. As I started thinking of things, I'm like walking into the office, I'm like behind someone. I'm like, oh, this could be an out.
So
Like,
you
it's
had
throwing me.
so you had one yesterday that I adamantly disagree with. What was your yesterday's in and out?
Audio messages, like voice memos.
As
that
an
you
in.
sent that as an in. Yes,
That means you want to continue to do audio messages.
Yes, I personally love audio messages and voice messages when I send them to friends or family. And I enjoy when people send them to me. And I also think it's just easier instead of me. Sometimes I don't have the time to call my friend or it's the middle of the day and maybe I'm like taking a walk to my car and I could just send a quick voice memo of like, this is what's going on. And I don't have to type out 3 paragraphs explaining a situation. I can just send a voice memo.
And how long do these voice memos? So voice memos, what you can do on an iPhone. You can do this, I'm sure, on an Android as well, where you just straight up record your voice and send it as a text message,
Yes.
and they could hear it, but they have to almost like watch a video of or listen to it like a podcast.
You got to
of
put the
what you're
phone up to the
talking
ear.
about.
The classic
Yes.
phone up to the ear.
Or headphones, yes. Sometimes they're
This
30
shit-
seconds.
Uh-huh.
I've done
What's
some
the
that
long
are
end?
Oh, like 10, 12 minutes. I've done my own little podcast for some friends.
10 to 12? You can do that?
Yeah, you could just keep yapping. And I
And
have
people
done
will
that.
listen to that.
Yeah, my friends will listen. And my friends will send an 8-minute one back.
Here's the problem. Instead of having a back and forth conversation where you could get to places, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're constant back and forth, or even talk on the phone. Instead, you got to spend 12 minutes recording your spot, send it. She has to spend 10 to 12 minutes listening to your spot, and then she has to do the same thing. You don't hear from her for 45 minutes because you're recording your audio message.
That's fine. Like, I'll sometimes do mine, like, leaving the gym. So that's it. I'm leaving the gym at 6 a.m. On the car ride home, I'll be like, oh, I got to make sure Kaylee is caught up on my life, my friend who lives in New Hampshire, and I'll send her a quick voice memo. She can listen to it whenever she wants. Maybe she responds back while I'm getting ready for work. I can hit play while I'm curling my hair, and I'm doing 2 things at once. Maybe I don't have time to call her. Like, see how
This is so
convenient that
inconsiderate.
sounds?
So inconsiderate. What if I'm on a train and all of a
Don't
sudden
listen to it then.
Tina
you don't
sends
listen
me
to
a
it.
very important message that that could be perfectly read, but Tina didn't want to spend the time to type out the message. Therefore, I had to, on the train, put the phone up to my ear and listen to this audio message for a prolonged
You
period
can
of time.
listen to it when you're off the train. You can listen to it whenever you want. It doesn't expire.
You know
can
what's
listen-
faster I could read than comparatively to
But
me
see, you know
listening?
how long it's going to take me to write out whatever I'm supposed to tell you?
You could
and
voice to text. It's going to be the same transcription method.
I don't really like voice to text because I text a very specific way. If you text me, I space out all my punctuation, and it also doesn't get the right words. Like sometimes it's it doesn't sound right.
It's not
and
good with punctuation.
Yeah, I don't like voice to text because it sometimes just.
How about text to text? Do you like typing it out and then sending it that way?
I will text the text, but sometimes a voice memo is so much easier.
It's only convenient for you.
But see, I don't do this with everyone. I have like specific friends that I do it with.
I gotta be. See,
Never
Tina, I was on
me
board
in that list of people that you send voice memos to, like prolonged voice memo.
Would you rather me call you?
I would rather you call, and then we could have a conversation comparatively to me getting a podcast as a text, and on a random part of my day, I have to listen to 15 minutes. When you know what I mean?
It is very. Tina, I was with you on just
yesterday you were with
substituting
me.
texts. I was. Whether it was up to me or not, I was with you.
Yeah.
But 12 minutes, that's a little bit main character syndrome.
But this is different. That's like,
hey,
I've only...
the Tina update for the
she
day.
She has to listen to the previous voice memo.
This...
She has to record her podcast. She probably listens back to the podcast to make sure it sounds good. So now we're 40 minutes into this ordeal.
I do listen back.
Then she has to send it. And then all of a sudden, the other person needs 15 minutes to listen to it on top of that. And then they have to record their response.
But listen.
That's an hour and a half of a process just to say two things.
The ones that were like 10 to 12 minutes, though, like those aren't often. Those are like really
life crisis, like something happened?
Like these are catching up with friends, and it's just like we don't have time. We can't find in our schedule to like align to jump on the phone, and we're like giving life updates.
So you will
it's not
send
often.
it casually. You will not send voice text.
No, I'm
casually.
not sending a 10-minute voice memo to.
Hey, what's going on? Send. You will not do that.
No. It's only like certain topics or conversations. Like it's easier just like say it than type it.
How do you talk 12 minutes uninterrupted without like follow-up questions and like
so easy? You are asking me that right now?
Yeah,
you are asking me how to talk for 12 minutes
we are
straight?
talking to the audience. You are talking.
You're talking to yourself.
No, you're talking to my audience is the people on the radio listening. Talking about sports. You're talking basically about like
anything in my life that's going on, updating my friends.
How do you know what to include when there's no follow-up questions and stuff like that?
Again, they're not just random, like I wake up in the morning and decide, hey, I'm going to call my friend Brooke that lives in, or send a voice note to my friend Brooke that lives in Kentucky and be like, I'm going to update her on my life today. Like there's texts that are going through, like before that then initiate the voice memo. I don't just send them out of the blue. Some friends maybe, because that's how we communicate. Like I have teammates here of ours. We communicate a ton through voice memos.
It's inconsiderate for both sides.
No, it's not. We like to communicate that way.
How do you talk when you see each other?
Sometimes we give just like updates.
How do you just call? What's wrong with calling people? I agree. I'm a big caller. I'm a huge component of calling.
Are you the caller? Like say you want to talk about something, whatever, a game. If one friend doesn't answer, do you have like a list of people you have to call? Like you're like, okay, well Jim didn't answer, so I'm gonna call Ryan now.
You're talking
when Ryan didn't answer, so I'm gonna call Brett now.
If I'm texting about a game, I do not like being on the phone when I'm watching something. If
No,
I'm
no,
trying
after,
to get reactionary
after.
to something.
Like you want to talk about it with
if
someone.
I'm trying to catch up on life or something like that, I call somebody.
Okay.
1000%. I'm not a texter in that regard, and I would never consider sending a podcast because I'm under the impression if I sent you a 10-minute voice memo updating you on my life, are you listening to all 10 minutes?
I would not listen.
I'm a bit of a sicko. I probably would.
You
if
would.
it came from you, I would be like, what's this guy's on
yeah,
about? What could
If I
possibly...
said that to one of my buddies, I am 75% sure that they would not listen to the entire thing. And that's fine. And I wouldn't blame them because I wouldn't blame them on a 12-minute text message that they have to spend reading it or listening to it because people are busy. If you can catch them on the phone, that's when you do it.
All right. So that was yesterday's in. Yesterday's out was what?
Yesterday's out was vaping.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah,
okay.
vaping's out.
Are you a vapor, Christian?
No.
Is that how you
can't
say it?
stand it.
Yeah, okay. So I'm not either. Vapor? Is that how you say it?
Maybe, I don't know. Different, maybe ist. I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't know. All right, so that's out. I agree with you. Was that ever in for you?
No, never in.
All right, so
I feel like it still happens. Like
So it
let's just get it out. No more.
Oh, because this is for the general public. Okay.
Yes.
What's today?
Today's in is complimenting strangers.
I'm in favor of this.
You like that?
I always compliment strangers.
Like cross-gender? Like it can be guys
Anyone.
to girls, girls to guys?
Yeah.
When's the last time you complimented a stranger, Tina? You do it on a day-to-day, so you can't even remember. Okay.
I like to always I'll comment like girls' outfits, like, oh my gosh, I love your pants. Like that can be random. Like I'm probably always commenting like,
well, that's a compliment.
Girls like style.
Christian, this is gonna be interesting. When's the last time you complimented a stranger?
Ever?
Man.
Playing golf with somebody on their swing?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm positive there. Like, that's a good ball.
That's
Yep.
probably the last time, right? Those are your moments of giving regular compliments?
Yeah. That's all I got, really.
That's all that comes up?
I don't really, yeah. What am I going to do? What other compliment would I, no, yeah. Keep
You
your
don't
head down.
compliment somebody's jacket, somebody's hat.
No.
Dude, you got a great smile today. Yeah, I like your energy today. You know.
In fact,
you got a great vibe.
I don't know how to react to strangers who compliment me. I've oftentimes been like, yeah, I love the hat. Like if I'm wearing a team they root for or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Like I was wearing a golf course hat from around here. And someone goes, bang, whatever, country club. And I go,
Wow.
I didn't know what to do in that moment.
You gotta come up with a couple like token answers that you can
You
just come
betcha.
out. Yeah.
Like-
There he is.
You already know.
Yeah. All right. So that you want to start complimenting strangers. I'm in favor of this. I like to.
Everyone should compliment strangers.
At the grocery store. Like, you're going to love those.
Yeah.
It's like when someone takes
I wouldn't like that. You don't need to come in my
that's every
groceries.
Trader Joe's cashier. I hate when they do that.
So speaking of this, when I go to the grocery store, and I'm the person who I eat the same thing mostly every day, right? And because of that, when I go to the grocery store, I will go once a week and I'll get my week's worth of stuff. So therefore, I am usually getting, like, if I'm getting meat, for example, I will get 7 packages of what I am going to eat for the meat for the week, or eggs or something like that, whatever it might be. And there have been a number of times where people behind me at the register will be like, "You feeding a dog?" No.
Whoa.
No, it's like along the lines of like, who are you feeding? Like acting like I have cattle. And then this is like, I'm trying to like feed a horse or something for racing because it's just all a bunch of meat. And it's just very repetitive and it's not very like, there's not a lot of pasta. There's nothing like that. So it's just like, it's like meat and eggs. And it's like, what are you training for something? Like, are you a boxer?
That feels like bad decorum.
It was bad vibe. I didn't like it. I'm like, thank you. You know what?
What a man's got in his grocery basket is between him and the basket.
So to what you just said, don't compliment a guy. You're gonna love those. Don't worry about what I'm at the grocery store. So I don't know. That's happened to me a number of times. People commenting on just the lack of creativity in my grocery orders, and it's just a bunch of meat, and people make comments about that. It's happened a number of times.
I've talked about this before. When you go and you get a sub, and people are saying, "Ooh, I wish I got that." Nothing feels better.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I start doing that. When I'm putting my buffalo chicken sub together and they pull it out of the toast machine and the cheese is melted and someone's like, dang, whose is that? It's happened more than once. That feels good. Gotta be honest. So complimenting someone's taste in food, I think it actually works. Maybe criticizing it out of bounds like they do for you and your grocery, but I like the compliment when it's making your own sandwich.
You know what's great? Which always gets, like if there's like a 5-year-old walking around and he's got like a cool jacket and like, you're somehow talking to the parents and you're like, little man, great jacket or something like that. Kid always gets fired up. That's always a good little compliment because that gives kids confidence, when you compliment on like a jacket or something like that.
I don't talk to strangers' kids.
Not like that. Right,
I'm just saying. It's not like anything. It's still talking to strangers' kids.
I know, but if I'm talking to like the parents or something like that, or if I'm at basketball practice,
Okay.
I coach youth basketball, so I see all these. I see the shoes and stuff like that. I always make comments. If the little brother's there, I'm like, I like the shoes.
I was thinking like your walk from the office to the parking lot.
No.
You're going through City Place.
I'm saying like if there's a reason, and if I'm at a youth basketball game, which we coach Mike Rizzo and myself.
Yeah, but that's not stranger. You're kind of in the social
If I don't
circle.
know the kid, I'm like, dude, I like the shoes or something like that. Like what shoes are those? So I always do stuff like that.
All right, stranger compliments are in for 2026.
Yes.
Something's got to be out.
Loafers. Specifically men wearing loafers.
Isn't that what you're supposed to wear in dress
No.
attire?
Get some shoes with laces. There are so many nice shoes now. Like brands, like Kohan. Great brand. Get some shoelaces. I don't like loafers.
Where's this
and
coming
this
from?
maybe is a personal
Where's
thing.
this coming from?
I don't like them.
You saw
I see
men wearing
plenty of
this.
them. I
You
see
men
plenty
wearing
of men,
loafers,
and I
you're
don't.
like, I hate those.
I hate those. There's way better shoe options now. Loafers are out of 2026 from a style standpoint.
That's a big part of a male style to you?
Men wear them.
I'm just saying it's a big component of how you judge a male's outfit is
If
what
I
they're
see
wearing in shoes.
loafers, yeah. If I'm looking at their outfit, yeah, like loafers are out for me.
Because I've never been somebody that really cares about the shoes that I'm wearing in regard to the outfit.
We totally know that because you wear shoes with holes in them.
Not anymore,
And yes, not anymore. We got some. Colin got some new shoes.
I got new shoes for Christmas, but yes.
Like, I actually didn't know what loafers were. I
Okay.
had Google image search them.
Okay.
So it's dress shoes that don't have laces.
Dress shoes don't have laces.
Is this like boat shoes? Does that count? Or is that
Those have
different
little
from loafer?
laces. Like Sperry's have laces.
I guess so.
They have a little tie, yeah. I don't like loafers, and this is probably a little more personal. I don't know. I just
don't own
like
a pair
them.
of loafers, so I'm all set.
That's good. There you go.
I have like a pair of
Don't
dress
ever own
shoes,
a
but that's
pair.
all I got. Christian, you have one of these.
When did you
have
get
a
those
pair of
dress
loafers.
shoes, by the way?
When?
Yeah.
I had them, but I just flew them back from Connecticut from my parents' house because they were just buried in my closet somewhere.
Oh, you got new ones?
No, I did not
technically.
get new ones. They were just been in my closet for a long time.
Mm.
So I just haven't, I realized I'm going to wear a suit a couple times,
What if the shoes have a buckle on it? Does that count as laces or no?
No, that's not. No, it's a buckle.
What do you mean a buckle?
A buckle. Can loafers have buckles?
Like
I don't think loafers have buckles. I don't think that's.
I'm thinking of
considered a
like
loafer.
semi leprechaun style buckle on the
No,
front
that's
of
a
your
loafer. No.
Whatever
That
that
is a
is, I'm
loafer.
out.
I would
Whatever
say
that
that's a
is,
loafer.
I'm out on that too.
Yeah.
I'm out on that too.
No.
So you're out on loafers.
Out on loafers.
I think I don't understand where this is coming from, but I guess
These are just outs for me. I'm thinking of like, what do I not want in 2026? And I don't want loafers. I think we should stop with loafers.
I don't have a pair of loafers. So.
Like people would probably say like Crocs. Some people hate Crocs. And they'd be like, those are out of 2026. I don't
When
hate
do you
Crocs.
wear Crocs other than like?
I have 2 pairs of Crocs.
To walk the dog, Crocs are good.
You
Crocs
walk
are
the dog,
easy.
you go
Crocs
to
are
a
great.
water park. When's the other time you're wearing Crocs?
Well,
They're an easy slip-on.
Exactly. They're a substitute from like my slides.
They can get wet.
See, I see. You know what's out? You want to talk about that? Flip-flops. I'm out on flip-flops.
Thong
Like
or
girls?
The
strap?
one that goes in the toe.
Thong.
Girls or guys?
What do you mean?
Like there's flip-flops for girls, flip-flops for guys.
Are they not the same?
Well, I'm saying, are you like specific?
Both.
Like mine were specific.
I just
You
don't
don't
like them. I have slides.
I wore
I'm
them
fine with slides.
yesterday. Wow.
I'm just fine with slides. No, I don't like them for me. I don't care. what
Okay, so
other people
guys.
do.
Guys
I've never
are-
in my life looked at
We're talking about trend setting and setting the status quo.
just for me? Just for
Yeah.
me,
Just
I
you.
am not flip-flop guy. I have my slides, which I've had since 2014 or something like that. But outside of that, I'm out.
Impressive durability. Mine break off.
Adidas. I'm telling you. But yeah, so I'm not a flip-flop guy, and you're not a loafer person.
I'm not a loafer. Yeah.
Even if there's a buckle.
Yeah, no buckle.
Oh, you're trying to make the buckle work. I don't.
Do you have a pair of the buckle?
I think I've got a pair with a buckle. They're black. They were given to me. They're apparently expensive. I wear them once a year.
Like I have to. Like the outfit has to be very nice, and it just flow for the loafers to work, and that's for me. Like that's
It doesn't
the
work with a suit.
It doesn't. No, it really depends probably on like the person, the outfit, if the loafers work with it.
So that doesn't
but
work.
usually no. I usually just like. Ugh.
We live in the city where we work right here at the City Place in Rosemary Square, and there is a ton of people in suits walk by all the time because they're probably going down to the I don't know
Some
the
are
building
probably
down
wearing
there, the related
loafers.
Ross building, and all of them are wearing dress shoes or loafers, right?
Yeah, but I also feel like even like Nikes, like you can dress up now. Like like it's common where like they're in
Suits
suits
with
and
shoes.
they have like nice sneakers on.
That is new.
Yeah.
That is
That is
a
in.
new trend. Well, Christian Catt, Colin Russo, that's Christina Costanza. Of course, we'll get into a little bit more what's in and out on the other side of things. But first, Duffy's Sports Grill, your place for all the games, Christian.
Yeah, and we've got a big giveaway tomorrow, 3:15 p.m. We've got $150 to give away to our champion. Who's our champion? We're going to take callers at 3:15 tomorrow on Theoretically Speaking, and you're pretty much going to be drafting the teams that are in the NFL playoffs. So we're going to have 14 different contestants. Each is going to get a team in the NFL playoffs. If that team does win the Super Bowl, you will win $150 to Duffy's Sports Grill. We're going to do the draft live on air tomorrow. So first one in gets the first pick, and so on and so forth. Theo, Tina, we'll be here 3:15 tomorrow on Theoretically Speaking. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a fun time, and maybe, just maybe, you'll make $150 out of it, all going to Duffy Sports Grill.
Christian Catt, Colin Russo, Christina Costanza, the Tina Happy Hour. It's been Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful Defender 110 P300S for just $849 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Jeff Bowden, Executive Principal and leader of Anshin's Tax Department.
The One Big Beautiful Bill Act creates powerful new planning opportunities for high net worth individuals and business owners. The new tax legislation permanently increases the estate and gift tax exemption to $15 million per person, restores full expensing for domestic R&D costs, updates the Opportunity Zone and qualified small business stock provisions, and includes other changes that will impact businesses and individuals. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we help clients understand the intricacies of the bill and develop a plan tailored to meet their goals. If you're a high net worth individual or business owner looking to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast, professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful Defender 110 P300S for just $849 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Don't fumble your finances. Whether you're running a business or running plays, Jay Zolo and Associates keeps your books tight in your stressed life. With nearly 30 years of experience, Jay Zolo is your go-to coach for QuickBooks, offering expert consulting, one-on-one training, and full-service bookkeeping. Jay Zolo and Associates, simplifying your books so you can win on and off the field. Visit jzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
Colin, have you checked out Vitacost Sport Certified Marketplace?
Vitacost? I love Vitacost!
Right? It's a full online sports marketplace. Over 500 performance products from trusted brands like Vega, Thorne, Vital Proteins, and Muscle Milk, all free from banned substances.
So no guessing, no label scrubbing, just clean fuel to train harder and recover smarter.
You got it. And don't forget, save 20% with code ESPN20 at sportcertified.com.
Fuel clean, train smarter. Try Sports Certified by Vitacost today.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Hey, it's Theo, and let's be real. Moving sucks. Boxes, packing, all that stress. Who's got time for it? That's why there's Safebound Moving and Storage. We handle everything. Whether you're moving local or long distance, we offer a headache-free experience, just the way moving should be. Get your free quote today at safeboundmoving.com, because every move should feel safe with Safebound.
God knows. I am reincarnated. I was stargazing. Life goes on. I need all my babies.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Colin Russo here, filling in for Theo Dorsey on Theoretically Speaking, ESPN 106.3, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X. YouTube at ESPN South Florida. Facebook and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. Christian Cat is always behind the glass. We get Christina Costanza in the house here at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. 888-760-3776. Number to get into the program. That's the Baptist Health Hotline. Baptist Health, welcome to pro-level orthopedic care at Baptist Health. If an injury is keeping you from doing what you love, our expert team is here to get you back in the game. It's trusted by the pros and ready for you because everybody deserves pro-level care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more. All right, so Christina for 2026 is doing what's in, what's out, trends that amongst the general public that she wants to see more of and way less of. Some things you want to see less of are male loafers and vaping, and some things you want to see more of are complimenting strangers and voice memo texts.
Correct.
What else do you have for us?
Another in I have is Irish goodbyes. I think this should be fine. If someone wants to leave without saying bye, like at the bar or whatever, like, who cares? Let them Irish goodbye.
I'm a big component of this.
Yeah, Irish goodbyes are in.
I don't remember the last time I've ever not Irish goodbye. I'm an Irish goodbye guy.
Yeah, Irish goodbyes.
I think you consider the Italian goodbye because Colin, you came from an Italian family. When you're a kid during the holidays, it feels like the goodbye lasts 1 hour long because everyone needs to say a goodbye, hug, kiss.
That's when I'm with
update.
family, but like if I'm with people, I'll get out of there. No problem. Not even a question. If I know I'm going to see them again in the near future, absolutely.
The worst is like out of work get-togethers with work people. Just got to dip out of there.
Yeah,
I don't
leave.
need to make sure everyone knows that my exit's happening.
I'll see you on Monday.
You don't even got to say that.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think some people are not goodbye people. I'm not a really big goodbye guy either. So I'm fine with
because
this.
I don't think I owe everyone a goodbye equally. If we didn't talk today, what's my lack of presence going to do to you?
Well, think of it like that.
I don't say goodbye when I leave work every day unless there's someone I was having a conversation with.
Yeah. Some people can be better about that. You say, you know what I need to get better at is saying hello to everybody in the morning. I'm not good about that. You know, hello, how you doing? Good morning.
Do you walk past them?
Sometimes. It depends. Whoever my first conversation's with is usually who I say good morning
He's selective. He has like 3 people that he goes to in the morning.
That's not true.
That's very true.
It depends on who I'm having a conversation with, and then I'll say good morning. So I need to get better at making sure I say good morning to everybody. But yes, so you're in on Irish goodbyes.
Yes.
There's no way you're an Irish goodbye.
Yeah, I was going to say that shocks me coming from you.
There's no way.
I'm not.
You probably make a whole ordeal on saying goodbye.
I do. I feel bad not saying goodbye, but that's where I'm like, I want to be better. Like, there's situations where I don't need to say goodbye to everyone that's in attendance. I'm just going to leave.
The patented Tina, thank you, voice rises in the middle of the thank you when she's about to leave. I feel like it happens every time we're on a remote somewhere or get set up by somebody. And maybe that's just good business practice that I just don't have a nose for.
That's a fascinating pickup, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm surprised by that. Okay. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
All right, what are you out on?
I am out on leaving events, concerts early to beat traffic.
So Tina held up air quotes when she said to beat traffic, when quite literally, if you leave early, you do beat traffic. It's not like a myth that you beat traffic.
You should not be leaving sporting events, concerts, or anything early just because that's the way you say. You're like, oh, we got to beat traffic. No, we can stay to the end. Traffic is part of the event. You are stuck in the traffic. You sign up for that.
So why are you bringing this up specifically? Is there anything that happened?
Well, there wasn't one time I was with both of you, and you forced me to leave a Stanley Cup final playoff game early to beat traffic. And I was upset. I was very upset. And that's out. That's not ever happening again.
Game 3 of the Stanley Cup final, it was 6-2 final score in the third period. And there was 5 minutes to go, and I wanted to leave. And it was like I kidnapped Tina's dog.
Yeah. I was very upset.
I completely forgot about this occurrence. Was I a part of this or
You
no?
were.
Yes,
You were in the car.
us 3 rode together.
You were in the car.
Oh.
And Tina drove us, so we needed Tina to leave.
Yes.
Yes, I remember hanging by the elevator and forcing her hand.
And it was me, and I remember this specifically. Christian was by the elevator waiting for the exit. He was ready to rock and roll. And Tina
I was still in my seat.
clearly didn't know how to Irish goodbye, too, because we had to do a whole ordeal on saying goodbye to everybody. And I had to basically drag Tina out of there. And I went up to her like 3 or 4 times. Tina, let's go. I mean, this game is over. So I'm against you on this one.
I know, and it's funny. We just had a conversation during the break of an event coming up, and you're like, we're staying to the end. I was like, that's funny.
The national championship
That is
for college
super
football?
funny.
Yeah, I'm likely staying to the end.
Any event. I don't, like, even if it's you guys, if it's friends.
Tina loves traffic. That's the thing. She loves traffic.
I don't love traffic.
You love traffic.
It's not that bad.
We did the same thing for Game 2 of Tampa Bay, Florida Panthers' first round of the Stanley Cup postseason last year. Tina and I did, me and Mike and Tina did a remote on-site outside of Amerant Bank Arena. And Tina and I stayed for the game. Mike went back. And after the game, it was a great game. So I'm the type, when it's over, pep in your step, let's get the hell out of here. And it was the game where Florida Panthers scored 2 in 19 seconds to win the game. And Tina walking out, first of all, Tina's not the tallest person in the world, so the stride length just isn't there.
It's not there.
It's not there. Tina's 2 steps is usually my 1. So I'm trying to get out of there. We're high up. We're like near the Jumbotron spotlight guy. And we're trying to get all the way down and get out of there. But Tina, she's got to film. She's got to take a 0.5 view photo of people walking in the corridor. She's got to take videos just for her own catalog of like the fireworks going off and the cheerleaders doing this and, the go Cats go. It was a whole ordeal just to exit the building. And what happened? Tina and I were buried, neck up in traffic, and it took us forever to get out of there. I remember I kept telling her, I'm like, Tina, if we hustled a little bit, we would have gotten out of there.
I walk as fast as I can. We also were parked very close to the arena.
Which is why it was good. You had to get there early because the strategy was there. I am a huge component of get out of there as soon as it is over. Mike and I stayed for the Orange Bowl last year for Penn State Notre Dame. The second that final sack happened to finish off the game, the final play, the final field goal, we were out of there. We get out of the building and in the car in about 3.5 minutes.
You have a thing where you love to time. Like, you sent us a text after the Orange Bowl last week. And you're like, took me 22 minutes to get from my car to here and to get to the station.
We kept bringing up to Christian. Christian, that's pretty good.
He's like, then it took me 7 minutes to get home. Oh my gosh, I have 43 minutes and 12 seconds that I could grab food before the game starts. You have a thing with time and like getting to and from places and how much you have like left. Like it's
Christian,
for everything.
Did we or did we not handle that properly getting out of the Orange Bowl?
Yeah, I think that
you didn't
it's
stay for the game.
I think it's for me and you to take pride in ourselves. I don't think that it impresses anybody. I don't think anybody else needs to know about it unless they ask.
We finished the show at 11:56. We had everything packed up. Christian and I just packed it up. Everything in the car, lugging it, multiple trips apiece. I would say 3 trips apiece to the car on the other side of the parking lot. And we were packed up in the car 12:21. And we pulled off the Okeechobee exit at 1:21. And we pulled into the back door of the City Place at 1:23. That's 62 minutes. My fastest ever is 57. 62 minutes to get out of Hard Rock and back to West Palm. Just because, the Oregon Texas Tech game, the only reason I didn't stay is because I wanted to watch the Rose Bowl. And I wanted to watch the beginning of the Rose Bowl. And if you stayed for the game, you would have sacrificed that. So that's why that was the right move.
It's always Hard Rock Stadium, too. That's where you're like very like, you figure out your timing. I love when like your GPS says, oh, it's going to take an hour and 10 minutes to get somewhere and you beat that time. Like, I love that feeling of like, oh, I actually got here in an hour and 3 minutes. Like, yay. But
do you not track door to door on a flight, on a trip? You don't track door to door?
No.
You don't?
No.
Door to door. So quite literally the drive that gets to the airport, the flight.
You close the door leaving your apartment, and when you pull into the next door of wherever you're going, you don't track that?
I don't. So do you also... Are you the type of person that shows up to your flights like while they're doing last call? Because I feel like that would lend yourself because you don't want to waste time at the airport. I'm not trying to make I just strategize it normally. I try to get to the gate about 20 minutes before it starts boarding, 15 minutes before it starts boarding. So I'm not big on like trying to make it as least as possible, but I do track it. So we'll do the middle ground between PBI and Miami Airport, quite literally and figuratively in terms of how long it takes to get around, is Fort Lauderdale. How early will you get to your flight that's flying out of Fort Lauderdale?
If I'm Fort Lauderdale's different. PBI, I get to the airport. If I'm not checking anything, I get it no earlier than an hour and a half. Or no than an hour. No early.
Okay.
I'll get there an hour out, probably, most likely. Fort Lauderdale, I'd get there, depending on the flight, depending on the time of the day, depending on the airline, I'd get there about 80 minutes out, 90 minutes out. We'll do a little travel schedules next. That's Tina Costanza. That's Christian Catt. Colin Russo. It's Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
This is the Delray Beach Open, the ultimate tennis party. Don't miss today's top professional tennis stars and legends in downtown Delray Beach. February 13th through the 22nd. It's 10 days of 140 miles per hour aces, parties, and all the good vibes. Come for the non-stop action on and off the court. Snap pics and post memories at the DBO. Join us for a jam-packed week of ATP tennis matches where champions play and fans party. DelrayBeachOpen.com for info. Tickets on sale now.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
The PGA Tour is back in Palm Beach. The Cognizant Classic returns February 25th through March 1st to the Champion Course at PGA National Resort and Spa. Be here to watch PGA Tour players take on the Bear Trap, one of the toughest stretches in golf, while enjoying elevated fan activities around every corner. Experience the energy with your friends and take in the excitement of this can't-miss event. Tickets are on sale now at thecognizantclassic.com.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Not all moves reflect your lifestyle. At Safebound Luxury, we provide white glove services tailored for high-end homes, fine art, and designer furnishings. Our expert team ensures every piece is packed, transported, and placed with precision and care. If you're relocating a residence that deserves more than a basic move, schedule your private consultation today at safeboundluxury.com to experience the difference. This isn't just a move. This is the art of moving.
Don't fumble your finances. Whether you're running a business or running plays, Jay Zolo and Associates keeps your books tight in your stress light. With nearly 30 years of experience, Jay Zolo is your go-to coach for QuickBooks, offering expert consulting, one-on-one training, and full-service bookkeeping. Jay Zolo and Associates, simplifying your books so you can win on and off the field. Visit jayzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your knowledge to work on the events that matter to you. Prediction Markets isn't just sports. It's the Fed rate decision, your favorite award show, and so much more beyond the playing field. Trade events with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
No Theo Dorsey, Colin Russo in today on Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3 with Colin Russo, Christian Catt, and Christina Costanza as always in the City Play Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. The PGA Tour is back in Palm Beach County. Take a listen because the Cognizant Classic returns to the PGA National Resort and Spa February 25th to March 1st, 2026. Watch PGA Tour players take on the Bear Trap, one of the toughest stretches in golf, all while enjoying elevated fan activities around every single corner. Tickets for the 2026 tournament are on sale now. Visit thecognizantclassic.com to check out ticket options for every golf then. If you want more of an upgraded experience, check out the premium hospitality areas like the Shoreline Suites and the 1909 Terrace. Looking for something a little bit more lighter with more energy? Purchase tickets to my favorite area. That's the Bear Trap, overlooking the iconic 17th hole and includes beer, wine, and soft drinks included. Tickets are on sale now at thecognizantclassic.com. That's thecognizantclassic.com. All right, Tina. So clearly, I am in the minority on setting actual times, on beating times, getting out of sporting events. So now your out is we are not leaving sporting events early.
Until it's over.
Regular season, Miami Marlins, 9-2, 8th inning. Are you leaving?
All right, baseball's a totally different story.
Even with a pitch clock?
Wow. So now it's a little hypocritical. This is why I can't take this seriously, because you pick and choose.
Okay, fine. We'll stay the whole baseball game.
I'm just saying. And I left a Marlins game early this year, too. No problem doing it.
And you missed a classic finish, too.
And I did, and I got burned. And I got burned because they were playing my A's. And it was a 7-run game in the 8th inning. And the Miami Marlins put together an 8-run 9th inning against the best closer in the sport. And that's what burned me.
With Marlins, though, I do take the bright line, so I got to make sure I make my train.
Okay.
Can always get the next one. Christian Cat, Colin Russo, Tina Costanza, Russo and Rizzo on the other side of things. Stay tuned on ESPN 106.3.